Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. This is another comic book edition. Told you we're going through my short box collection one at a time, and some of you seem to like it, but hey, I just like showing off my collection too. Some stuff I've worked very hard for. This is my last box of CGC books. Well, CGC and CBCS. I realized in the last video I kept saying CGC for everything, even though half my collection is CBCS. And if you've watched my stuff before, you know I kind of prefer CBCS in their cases over CGC. But CGC still comes with that provenance that everybody's looking for. And we're also using a new microphone on this episode. So I'm really excited because this is the first time I've actually used it just flat out for a video. It is the Rode Video Mic Go 2. So let's see how it works out and how it sounds. But let's just dive right into those books. So what's going to be unique about these ones compared to the other ones we've seen? These are some of the bigger magazine style size ones too. But let's start off with the regular size. And truth be told, I'm not 100% sure what's in this box, so you're going to find out at the same time that I do. Okay, first one out of the box is Walking Dead number 61. What's really cool about this book, this is actually the first appearance of Chew, which is, as you guys know, it's one of my favorite titles in books ever. It's created by John Layman and Rob Guillory. And this was their first appearance inside Walking Dead, which is also one of the other books I started reading to get back into comics. And what's cool about this one, I got it signed by Robert Kirkman and John Layman. So, fantastic book. I actually kind of forgot that one was in there. Chew again. This is Chew number 1, but it's the third printing. Signed by John Layman and Rob, the creators. At an 8.5. And we've talked about it before. I actually never get my books pressed or anything. For value, I probably should. I just don't. Because they're for me. They're my books. Alright. Next one. Our Black Panther number 1. This is the first appearance of Black Panther in his own title and continuity. This one I got from our friends over at Presidio a while back. I knew it was a low-grade version when I got it. But I got it CBC slab because I thought it was going to be the closest thing I would ever have to a first appearance of Black Panther. But as you've seen in some of our past videos, that'd be wrong. Brother Voodoo. I've always loved this character, and I got so excited when John Constantine, the movie Constantine, first came out. So I'm like, dude, I know it's like DC and Marvel difference, but I was like, if they're going to make a movie about Constantine, they might make a movie on Brother Voodoo or Doctor Strange, but I'm really hoping for Brother Voodoo. Haven't seen it yet, but hey, anything's possible. I do love me some Brother Voodoo. Invincible Iron Man number 118. What makes this one more unique than other ones? First appearance of James Rhodes, Rhodey. Again, lower grade, which actually I was shocked by this one. I think I got a low grade because it might be trimmed here on the side a little bit. But, I don't think it was a 4.0. I thought it was going to be like a 6, 6.5. Next one is Black Goliath number 1. A lot of people don't realize he's already made his appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Their friend they go and talk to down at the university, Black Goliath. He even made a comment about how he once got over 18 feet, I think it was. But let's get to the big stuff now. I'm going to kind of skip around this because there's a couple I'd like to save for the end that I know you're really going to like. But let's start off with, okay, these aren't technically slabbed, but they're in the big ultra loaders. I probably need to send them to get CGC, but I'm going to save a couple of those for just a second. But let's start off with this one here. The Defenders number 1. Lower grade, but it's a book I really love. I've always loved all these characters, everything from Doctor Strange, like I just talked about with Brother Voodoo, one of my favorites, Namor, and Hulk. And what's cool about this one, I have it signed by Steve Englehart, the writer on it. I actually spent a lot of time at WonderCon looking for him. You probably saw those videos if you're watching this. Alright. So, we're going to dive into my Turtle books. This is not all my Turtle books. These are just some of my graded ones. You probably see right there on the wall behind me, I have my Turtles number 1 third printing that's signed by Kevin Eastman on the wall. But that wasn't my first Turtles number 1. This one was. I got this one at one of my first Phoenix Comic-Cons, back when it was still called Phoenix Comic-Con. And I knew I was meeting Kevin Eastman that day. And this is back when I got this book for like $15. Like now, it's like a $300 book in its current state. But it's also a verified signature of Kevin Eastman and a little remark on there. Oh, I just tore the CGC label off. But it's Teenage Mutant Turtles number 2. It is a second printing, but it's a 9.2. Really good quality second printing of the first run from Mirage Comics. So up there with my Turtles number 1. This one is one of the more expensive books I ever bought. It's definitely gone down in value, and I don't know how, but the case got cracked at some point on the back from the time I bought it and when I got home, which is weird. But it's Turtles number 3, 9.8, first printing. You don't really see these that often, especially that high of a grade. So my goal is to get the first Turtles books all slabbed and graded, and I'm pretty close to it. Because like for example, here's my Turtles number 3, or sorry, Turtles number 4, first printing, 8.5. There's a little, this is funny, so if we get a little close on how well you can see it. but there's something inside the case when they print, like, that's actually why I got such a good deal on it. They're like, yeah, I don't know what's in there, but it's like that since we got it. So there it must stay. But CGC magazine size cases aren't the greatest. And if you think they are, we can have a long discussion. That's why I like my stuff mostly by CBCS. Like this one, Turtles number 5. First printing, 9.4. These cases from CBCS are just really sturdy and really high quality. I prefer their cases. I just wish they got the same provenance and love as CGC. But I think they're on the way, especially with the whole CBCS versus CGC debacle this last year with all the controversy with CGC. But let's get on. But speaking of CGC, Turtles number 6, 9.4. Turtles number 7, also a 9.4. I really like the colors on this one. Believe it or not, the number 7 was the hardest one for me to find, and I don't really know why. It's not particularly that rare of a book. And the last Turtle book I'm going to show you, it's a doozy. And I know I've showed it on the channel before in other videos, but it's my Raphael number 1. And what's really cool about this one, I bought it as a lot, and I purchased a bunch of the books together for a really fair price. And after I purchased it, the person that I bought it from, well, the place I bought it from, goes, oh yeah, this one is signed by someone already. And I just assumed, okay, Kevin signs everything Turtles-wise. It was Peter Laird's signature inside. And I know that signature quite well because it's so rare, and I've done my homework on it. I was like, oh my goodness. So when I had the opportunity to get Kevin to sign it as well, apparently he was really tickled, like, because I gave some friends who had a private signing going with him. And he was like, I can't believe Peter signed this on the inside. And even says, verified Peter Laird signature on interior cover, and witnessed signature of Kevin Eastman on April 29th of 2023. Granted, it's only a 6.5, not the highest grade, but I dare you to find this signed by both of them in this good of condition and on the census now. That's a big deal for me. Now for the last 3 books in this box. I've talked about them before in my WonderCon videos, but I've talked about them a little bit more here. And I'm going to do a really detailed video at some point about one of these books. I just haven't had the opportunity or time to actually just sit down and write it out and figure it out. Because a lot of people do ask me, do I like script these videos out from the way I've been speaking the last few videos that I've been so tired? Obviously not. I kind of do them off the cuff of, I get a topic I want to talk about and I jump in front of the camera and what gets captured gets captured. But this first book is what's referred to as my Eleanor. If you know, wondering what that means, if you've ever seen the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, Eleanor is the book that Nick Cage, the car, see, these aren't scripted. The car that Nick Cage talks about during his entire time as a car thief, it's the one that always got away and he almost died trying to steal every time. So it's that one that just was always slipping through his fingers. I've owned this book 3 separate times now, including this time. I've always sold it. The first time I sold it because I needed the money because I was a broke college kid. The second time I sold it, I used it as like trade for something. I was like, oh, okay, they're not that bad a price. I'll just pick up another one later. And then they skyrocketed in value for the longest time. And what's funny is, I'm not particularly a huge fan of this character, but I still am at the same time, because he's one of those comic book characters I grew up with, and that was the Wolverine. Because I love the original animated series when I was younger. I loved like the Jim Lee and Chris Claremont X-Men run. Those were my X-Men growing up, right? Well, I finally picked it up at WonderCon again, and that's the Incredible Hulk number 180. Got it for a good price because it was raw. I bought it from a table of people that I made a couple deals with, and I just got along with them really well. And I finally added it back in my collection. And I was like, well, if I'm going to have this one, sorry about the glare, y'all, I might as well get the third appearance of Wolverine, which is Incredible Hulk number 182. So cool. I got the first two of the first 3 appearances of Wolverine. But I've always wanted what's considered the actual first appearance of Wolverine, and the full appearance of Wolverine. Incredible Hulk number 181. That book is way out of my price range. Like, I'm sure if I bought it and just didn't tell my wife, she wouldn't care so much. But I would care, because I know how much that book costs, and that's not fair for me to, like, just do it because I want it. And I know what you're thinking. Tommy, you should be happy. You got Incredible Hulk 180 and 182, the first and third appearance of Wolverine. You still have that first one in complete continuity and the first full appearance. You might be wrong on that one. If you watched our videos from WonderCon, you probably saw that I saw a really unique book that I was considering buying. And then when I was looking at it, as I was talking to one of the people at the booth, I put it back on the shelf and it slipped and it fell and it cracked the case. Now, Owner of the place, really cool. He's like, you know, man, just pay for the reholder and we're cool. I was like, no, I'm thinking about buying it and I think I'm going to pull the trigger on it. He said, all right. So he actually gave me a really good discount on it as well. So I can't complain. And what the book is at? It's La Masa number 40. I know you're looking like, hey, I thought we were talking about Incredible Hulk 181. Well, this is the first appearance of Wolverine. Granted, it was reprinted and it's 181 and 182 combined, but it's the first version and it was released in Spanish. So it's the first appearance, just the Spanish version. However, a couple cool things about this book I know we've discussed in the previous video, but you probably didn't see that one. CGC label actually lists it as Incredible Hulk number 181. Even so here, when you look on the CGC label, or look it up on their website in the census, even with that number, it still comes up as Incredible Hulk number 181. And what's cool about this one, it's a verified and witness signature with this Roy Thomas signature and sketch on there. And on the inside, because CGC at the time didn't do unverified signatures, they had to physically witness it. They didn't have handwriting and signature experts to verify it. It's signed on the inside by Herb Trimpe, which is one of the other co-creators of Wolverine. So this actually kind of fills a few different things and checklists in my comic book collecting life. I love unique comics, rare comics. I want the big name comics like the first appearance of Wolverine. And I like collecting some things in Spanish. Like I have quite a few books in Spanish, and like one of my favorites is the survival guide, the World War Z, but it's the survival guide of how to survive the zombie apocalypse, and it's written in Spanish. And first time I met Max Brooks, he wrote in there, you know, Thomas will survive any apocalypse. He speaks 2 languages, which made me laugh. So this is a big book in my collection. Granted, I still have to get it fixed. Like I said, I dropped it. It did crack the case right there. So I plan on resubmitting it for reholdering soon. And now that they actually, but I was holding out till they announced that they were actually going to do verified signatures. So I want to submit it, but also get it verified with Herb Trimpe's signature as well. But that's it. That is the books out of my final slabbed portion of my collection. I have a few more really cool things I want to go over with you guys with the other boxes. This is just a quick one. I wanted to test out my new mic. It's really late. It's my only real day off here tomorrow. So I thought I'd stay up with you guys and talk about comics a little bit. So forgive me if I'm a little out of it because I am tired. But if you like what you see, follow along. We do all kinds of great videos. I'll put our information down below. See, it's like right over here. Follow those on all the different social medias and follow us on our adventures. Thanks for taking time to watch this one. If you like comic books, I'm your guy. If you like Tesla and tech, I would like to think I'm your guy. And if you like travel and family-related videos, that's what we do here. You guys say thanks for taking another ride with us. Let's take another ride again soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Time to go to sleep. Probably like an hour ago.